Welcome back to the session. Now in this video we'll discuss about Planck's quantum theory. Before going to discuss this theory, first we have to learn black body. What is a black body? In the previous activity we discussed about when you heat a metal rod, it emits different kinds of colors. First it emits red, then after orange, yellow, blue, like different colors it emits. Okay, so if you take any object, for example a metal rod, when certain amount of radiation falls on the object, then the metal rod absorbs that radiation, and due to that radiation it produces heat in the form of light. So how much amount of radiation it absorbs, with the same amount of light it should emit, such kind of body is known as black body. Black body means it is not in black color. Once again, black body means it is not in black color. Black body means it is a perfect absorber and it is a perfect emitter. Means how much amount of light falls on the body, the same amount of light should emitted by the same body, then such body is known as black body. Once you see here, black body means it is a perfect absorber and a perfect emitter. Suppose if you take this is an example, if you take any metal object, different frequencies of radiation of frequencies of waves falls on your body, then the body absorbs that energy in the form of heat and it should re-emit it in the form of light, different colors. Okay, so how much amount of heat it absorbs, the same amount of energy it should emit. So the emission of this heat in the form of light, Planck thought that it is a continuous process. Means it should emit, for example, if you take a rod and heat it, it emits light, first red, after that orange, like it continuously emits the light. It is a continuous process. Max Planck's thought it is a continuous process, and he drew a graph between the intensity and the frequency of that radiation. So when he drew the graph, he thought that when the frequency increases, means when you heat it continuously, then the color emitted by the object should increase. It is a continuous process. So he thought that he should get the shape like this, but unfortunately he did not get like that, and he got the graph like this shape. Means he thought because it should emit light continuously, due to that the graph should be like this, but unfortunately he got the graph like this. Means that process is not a continuous. It is not a continuous process. When you heat your body, it absorbs heat and it emits light. It emits the heat in the form of light. So this, when it is emitting the light, heat in the form of light, it should be a continuous process. He thought it is a continuous process, but he got it. It is the his thought is wrong. So due to that, he said that light emitted by a body, not only a black body, any body, is not a continuous process. It is a discrete, where I wrote, once you see here I wrote, the significance of Planck's proposed that electromagnetic energy means any, suppose if you take a body, any kind of frequencies, we have electromagnetic waves, different wide variety ranges of frequencies. So on that, any type of frequency falls on object, it absorbs and it should emit it. So the electromagnetic energy can be gained or it lost in discrete values and not in continuous manner. How does he know? By taking the values in the graph, he observed that it is not a continuous process. And okay, now suppose if you take a body, when certain amount of radiation of light falls on the body, it emits the it absorbs heat and it emits the due to that heat it emits different colors of light. So this emission of light is in the form of, it is not continuous, it is in discrete value. So discrete means what? It emits the light in the form of small packets, that he kept the name as quanta. He kept the name as quanta. So it emits light, the rod, it emits the light. When it emits the light, it is not emitting the light continuously. It emits light, first one quanta, then afterwards 2 quanta, then afterwards 3 quanta, like that it emits the light. So that the quanta, he took that values are integral values. Integral values means 1 quanta and 2 quanta and 3 quanta, like that. Integral means 1 2 3. There is no decimal values of fractions, only 1 2 3 4 and so on. So that energy released by a body is always an integral multiples, an integral multiples. And suppose when a certain frequency of radiation falls on your body or absorbed by your body, it should emit the light. So the amount of energy emitted by the body is directly proportional to the frequency of the wave. Is directly proportional to the frequency of a wave. How much amount of energy is emitting, so that we can find out by the frequency of the wave. So these two are directly proportional. So if frequency, more amount of frequency, higher frequency of light falls on the object, it emits more light. The energy emitted by the object is more. So he gave the relation by energy and the frequency. When you remove this proportionality constant, we have to take a constant that is h. Here h is known as Planck's constant. That here h is known as Planck's constant. And what is the value of Planck's constant? Here I wrote 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joules seconds. One second. What is the Planck's equation? E is equals to h mu. From this equation, the energy emitted, whether the heat absorbed or emitted, the energy either absorbed or emitted by a body is equals to the product of Planck's constant and the frequency of that particular wave. Here h is equals to 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joules seconds. And here E for energy, mu for frequency of frequency, either it is absorbed or emitted. Now, this is about the Max Planck's quantum theory. Now we have one more. We have activity 2. In that, first you have to take one watch class. You have to take one watch class like this. On this watch class, you have to take the chemicals of cupric chloride. What is that? Cupric chloride. A pinch of cupric chloride, and take this chloride and take concentrated hydrochloric acid. With the help of hydrochloric acid, make a paste. Then that paste you have to introduce on a platinum loop. You have to take it on that paste, we have to take it on a platinum loop, and this loop we have to introduce into a non-luminous flame. What is the meaning of non-luminous flame? Means complete combustion takes place with the help of more amount of oxygen. Complete combustion takes place means that only. So that paste you have to take it on the platinum loop and introduce into the non-luminous flame. flame. Then after burning this cupric chloride, it emits one kind of light, one kind of light. So what kind of light it emits? It emits green color. It emits green color. Now repeat the same activity by another metal, that is the strontium chloride. Again take watch glass and take a pinch of strontium chloride and make a paste with the help of concentrated hydrochloric acid, and that paste you have to place it on the platinum loop and introduce into the non-luminous flame. Then it emits this strontium emits color. And is it the same color, both the cupric chloride and strontium chloride? No, this strontium chloride emits crimson red flame. When it burns, it emits crimson red flame, and the cupric chloride emits green color. And did you observe in our daily life we have different types of lamps: sodium lamps, neon lamps, mercuric lamps. And sodium vapor lamps, it emits yellow color. Neon lamps or mercury lamps, it emits white color. So from all these examples, we came to know that each atom, it has a characteristic color. Strontium, copper, and sodium, neon, all these atoms have its own characteristic color. It emits own characteristic color. So due to that, here you see each element, not atom, sorry, each element emits its own characteristic color. And each color, suppose if you take hydrogen element, if you take hydrogen element and helium element, nitrogen, oxygen, we have different types of elements. When you heat it, did you observe in the visible spectrum, it has continuous range of colors. Vibgyor means there is no gap between the colors. Vibgyor, there is no gap between the colors. It is a continuous, no gaps between the colors. But when you take the different atoms, it emits the colors. When it emits colors, there is, you can find out the lines in between that spectrum. When it emits light, it has some frequency. So different types of frequency will call it as spectrum. So we have hydrogen spectrum, helium spectrum, different types of spectrums are there. So if you find for a spectrum of each element, it is different. It is different. And it emits, each element, it emits light. It is not a continuous, it is a discrete wavelength. It emits the light, and that light has discrete wavelengths. Discrete means visible spectrum has a continuous group of lights, frequencies. But when you take these elements does not have a continuous group of colors. It emits colors like gaps. It has gaps, lines. Only this part it emits the light. So these lines are known as line spectra. Once again I will repeat what is line spectra. It is important for 1 mark. Each element emits its own characteristic color. Okay, and each color corresponds discrete wavelengths. Suppose hydrogen, it emits line spectrum like this. Helium emits color like this. And nitrogen, this is rough example. And nitrogen emits like this. So each element, it has one characteristic wavelengths, discrete wavelengths. So these line spectra are known, these lines are known as line spectra. So this is about activity 2, and next video will discuss about Bohr's theory. Thank you.